Listen to what Dave Ramsey says about how easy it is to get a credit card.
The things just magically show up in your mailbox, your inbox. Your dead dog from 4 years ago will be issued its own line of credit, and it'll show up in a credit card on your mailbox. Frou-Frou, the dead poodle, will get a credit card in America today.
Do you agree with him? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I've worked in the banking industry for over 20 years, so I've seen up close how easy it is for people to get credit cards. I got my first credit card when I was around 17 years old, and I don't remember it being difficult to get that credit card. Now, once I got that credit card, soon after, I was drowning in debt, barely able to make the minimum payments on that card, wondering if I would ever break free from this debt. So I understand how exhausting and frustrating debt could feel, but today I am debt free. So I'm here to share the exact steps that I took so that you could also take to pay off your debt fast and become debt free. Do you know that the average person spends thousands of dollars in just paying interest? That's money that could be used to build their future instead of paying for their past. But no shade, because that used to be me until I discovered that with the right plan and the right mindset, you can turn things around faster than you think. I was able to break free from debt, and so can you. Do you know what is one of the most common financial questions that I get? So listen, one of the most common financial questions is how to get out of debt. And getting out of debt can be painful, but the payoffs are rewarding. Just think, all that money spent paying interest on past purchases could be used to invest in your future, but it takes a committed and a consistent plan to get out of debt and stay out. So here are the 5 things that I did that you can also do to help take control of your finances and debt. All right, let's go. So first, you want to look for lower interest rates. It's difficult to dig out of debt when your interest keeps piling up. So to make sure more of your payments go towards paying down your principal, you want to shop around for low interest balance transfer offers. You may even be qualified for a 0% interest promotional rate. Now, there's typically a fee to do a balance transfer, for example, 3% of the transferred amount. Now, paying the fee to get a lower interest rate can sometimes be worth it, especially if it's going to take you a long time to pay off the entire balance. Do the math to find out if by transferring a balance will save you money. There's a lot of calculators out there. Just do a Google search for balance transfer calculators. Next, you want to pay more than the minimum amount on your credit cards. Making just the minimum amount payment on your credit cards each month will leave you in credit card debt for many years to come. By paying just the minimum, a credit card balance of $1,000 at a rate of 12% interest rate with a minimum required monthly payment of $35 would take 34 months to pay off. Your total payments would equal to $1,184, which means you'd be paying $184 to borrow that $1,000 and take nearly 3 years to get out of that credit card debt. Now, by bumping the payment up to $50 per month instead of that $35, you would pay off the balance in 23 months, and it will cost you $121 in interest. Paying $100 a month would pay off the debt in only 11 months, and it would cost you $59 in interest. So you see, adding a little bit more to your monthly payments will allow you to pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Anthony, where am I going to get a little bit more to pay towards this credit card? Well, I got you. Here are some options. Possible sources of extra money would include reduced spending, receiving a pay raise or bonus, starting a side hustle, taking on a temporary or permanent part-time job. Finding spots in your monthly spending where you could cut back is the most likely source of extra money. The best way to find them is by examining your spending. Look at your spending history through your bank or your cash management account, or track your spending for a period of time. Now, after you see where your money goes, look for areas where you are able to cut back expenses to free up some cash to put towards debt. Even just a little bit will help. For example, you may be paying for cable channels you never use, or maybe you don't come close to your cell phone data limit. Maybe you have an expensive champagne habit that runs up your food bill. Now, you don't have to give up all of your luxuries, but nearly everyone has areas where they splurge more than necessary. Next, you want to have money available for emergencies and unplanned expenses. Now, this is an important step for staying out of debt. Getting out of debt while having nothing saved can be dangerous. Think about it. You do all that work to pay down debt, and before you know it, the hot water heater springs a leak, or your car suddenly needs an expensive repair. Without having easily accessible cash, credit cards may be your only option, and now you're back to having credit card debt. If you turn your saving for an emergency fund into a monthly priority, you'll get into the habit of contributing to it regularly. Continue to save until you've accumulated between 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly expenses. Work to keep your essential expenses under 50% of your take-home pay, and be sure to save for the future too. Contribute at least enough money to your workplace retirement account to get the entire match from your employer. Money that's left over after you have met all your necessary obligations, you've built up your emergency savings, and you've obtained your entire employer's match, those funds can be funneled into debt repayment. Now, once you are out of debt, aim to ramp up your retirement savings to 15% of your annual income before taxes, including your employer's match. All right, we're almost at the end, so keep hanging in there with me. All right, so next is making it hard to spend. It's nearly impossible to get out of debt if new purchases keep adding to the balance. So consider hiding your credit cards so that you don't keep charging, or just leave them at home when you go out. Now, that can be a little bit easier said than done when shopping on the internet. Some online retailers offer the option to save your payment information. Decline this option if you have a chance. Attack your debts one by one. If you have several loans and credit cards, focus on the debt with the highest interest rate first. Continue to make minimum or scheduled payments on the other credit cards and loans. Now, once you paid off the highest interest debt, start paying as much as possible to the next highest interest rate debt. Next, you want to use credit wisely. Following some basic rules for credit can help you to use credit more wisely. Avoid charging more than you can pay off in 1 month, and always make your payments on time. Now, if you do find yourself with a balance that follows you from month to month, make it a priority to pay it off so that you can use your money to achieve your financial goals, especially your retirement savings goals. All right, so you've got your debt under control. Now it's time to ramp up your savings. After you have paid off your debt, try to avoid slipping back into the spending habits that may have led to the problem in the first place. Keep developing good habits by saving for the future. Make sure your emergency fund is fully stocked. Take the time to get your retirement savings on track. Now that you're not paying credit card companies every month, you now have some extra money to set aside for the long term. Now, this journey may not always be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Every small step that you take towards paying off your debt is a victory towards your future, your peace of mind, and your freedom. You've already made a decision by watching this video, and that's the hardest part, the first part. So keep moving forward, because on the other side of this struggle is the life that you deserve. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, let me know by hitting that like button. Now, earlier I mentioned that after you finish paying off your debt, the next step is to build up your savings account. And the on-screen video will show you how you can easily save up to $10,000. So click on that video and I'll see you there.